She's amassed hundreds and hundreds of millions of views across social media.
Not a single one of us here today has done it alone.
She's won 12 Grammys.
Grammys?
My Grammys.
She's released over 40 records.
The music industry is, always happens. God, what is going on?
She's got sellout stadiums that break the internet.
Over 1 billion in sales.
I wake up and I've just got this.
She sold a whopping 2 million tickets in the first 24 hours.
The main reason I'm here is because I have a song called 22.
Yes, this is the world of the Swifties.
And her fans are called Swifties.
I'm a Swiftie.
And the success of now the most famous, most powerful, most successful female artist in history.
Yes! Yeah, that was me committing an act of extreme hyperbole.
Today is a masterclass on building a tribe, on building a brand.
Everything is connected by my love of the craft.
That is so mastermind.
I'm not asleep. My mind is alive.
On building raving fans.
I went to the Taylor Swift Eras concert and I'm unwell.
And I'm so excited to dive in and show you exactly how she did it. Last year, Forbes estimated her net worth at over $500 million. And I'm sure after the recent success, she's closing in on that $1 billion mark.
U.S. tour could generate $4.6 billion in consumer spending. May was the strongest month for hotel revenue in Philadelphia since the onset of the pandemic.
How is she selling out major stadiums?
My insecurities.
In today's episode, we're gonna dive into the psychology behind her success.
Turbocharging the economy.
Who spent their savings, planned their outfits, wove friendship bracelets.
How she's building such an amazing tribe.
I don't want to keep thinking me. That's what I'm telling them.
The whole city is Taylor Swift.
How she's generating her wealth. How she's continuing her legacy.
Having the hard work ethic to sit down at the desk and write it down. Just like,
and how you can take it away and learn from her.
being embarrassed when you mess up, it's part of the human experience.
One of the best in business to apply it to your own growth.
That was an amazing montage.
I know.
And she's not just an expert when it comes to the mic. Oh no, she's an expert when it comes to investing all the money she makes from the mic.
Get a good lawyer. That is it.
She's got over $150 million into real estate that's continuing to grow year on year. She's also amassed over 100 million social media followers.
But I'm really excited about sharing this with you.
That she's now leveraging for online campaigns. She's a boss when it comes to being on the stage and driving in the business seat. And I'm excited to teach you today everything I've learned from following Taylor Swift, reverse engineering her brain and her success and how she's built such a raving fan base and how you can do the same in your own business. We all know events make money, so let's break down the average numbers for a typical Taylor Swift sellout event. The average person going to a Taylor Swift concert, get this, spends a whopping $1,327.
Each spending an estimated $1,300.
You know right now, most of those people don't have that much money to spend.
She's a kind of like a once-in-a-generation type of artist.
And coming up later in this episode, I'll teach you the psychology behind it and why people are spending so much, even if they can't afford it, because of the specific way she's built her brand.
Taylor Swift fans are giving Seahawks fans a run for their money, and the science proves it.
The tour was such a sellout success, it literally broke the internet.
News to me, this is great.
Yes, it literally broke the Ticketmaster website, the largest website on the planet.
Temporarily shutting down Ticketmaster.
That has launched pretty much every big artist tours, and yet Taylor Swift, out of them all, was able to shut it down because of the fan base that she has built.
We're like, sorry, was I loud in my own house that I bought with the songs that I wrote?
And if the fans weren't lucky enough to be one of the 1.5 million to grab a ticket, they created a new trend called Taylor-gating.
Quote, a Taylor-gating.
Sorry, Swifties, no ticket, no Taylor-gating.
We are never, ever, ever getting back together.
Where they would even fly in to the location of the tour. Incoming.
Oh no.
just to hang around the stadium. That amount of impact is what you want to create in your own fan base.
I'm a very spontaneous person.
Her tours have even got world leaders in a frenzy, with multiple prime ministers and presidents and leaders of countries requesting a tour in their country. And even the US government is watching the economic impact. For example, Philadelphia had one of the biggest booms in revenue since the pandemic, citing the Taylor Swift tour.
So, Western Washington University geology professor Jackie Kaplan-Auerbach plotted the seismic activity from last weekend's 2 concerts.
She even was able to nearly cause an earthquake.
Swifties in Seattle recording seismic activity equivalent to a 2.3 magnitude earthquake.
Yes, they spotted seismic activity from the impacts of all the fans jumping up and down during the concert. Another thing that's really important when you look at the fan base is her consistency. Over the years, she's always been supportive, she's shouted out her fans, and she's done something that's really important that you should be doing too. She's made her fans feel special.
And so I decided to have them in my houses. We had 89 fans waiting in the living room.
There's a lot of celebrities, a lot of artists, a lot of famous actors and athletes where they don't make the fans feel special. You often see them getting in confrontation when they ask for a photo or being rude.
Could you try to be sexier? Maybe more likable this time?
This hurts the brand reputation, whereas Taylor Swift has created a name for them, created a home, gave them inspiration and motivation, and every single fan will state how unique that is and how much they feel she cares for them as an individual. And if you're wondering just how much money these tours made, well, they were so lucrative, and Taylor Swift is so generous, she was able to hand out some hefty bonuses to her entire tour group.
Reportedly given them bonuses totaling over $55 million.
Yes, she was handing out envelopes with $100,000 in them,
Surprising each of the 50-plus truck drivers on her tour with bonus checks for $100,000.
to all of the performers, the dance crew, truck drivers, her backstage team. Apparently this amounted to close to $50 million in bonus checks that she gave out to her team.
Father was the one that actually presented the checks to our drivers. He presented handwritten letters from Taylor.
Which of course is not only incredible as her as a leader and an authority figure, just how she looks after her fans, looking after her team, but it goes to show and clearly demonstrate the success of those sellout tours. And you may be wondering, why are the tours so important? Well, 80% plus of that revenue goes to the artist. It's one of their biggest paydays from their actual music, whereas a lot of the records, they actually get a more fractional piece. So for them, those tours, just like in the entrepreneur space, when we host events, they can be massive cash influxes for the artist. And that's even why you see many artists come out of retirement and do a retirement tour. It's the quickest way to make money. If you're an entrepreneur with a brand or a business, we find that exact same thing. Whenever we want to do a cash infusion or whenever we want to have a really big month, we host events. One of my friends in this industry who's one of the top of the space, Grant Cardone, he says, I'm an event company, Rudy, because he knows, even though he sells education and all these other things, that live events are so powerful, and Taylor Swift is a prime example of that. On the release day of her tour, she had over 3.5 million requests to buy a ticket on Ticketmaster, with only 1.5 million seats available for every tour date.
People are spending $1,300 on average to go see Taylor Swift.
This thing has been impossible to avoid.
The other interesting thing about Taylor Swift is she's managed to not only survive, but even thrive through multiple generations. For example, about 57% of her audience were over the age of 35, and a big percent were between the age of 18 to 35, which means her entire following is basically ranged 18 to 60. So she's covering the largest demographic on the planet. And check this out, the fans can't get enough of her. When surveyed, they all said on average they would spend another $1,300 to go back to another concert. Talk about repeat business.
You know, I go like from zero to legitimately thinking I'm a wizard.
And if you needed one final stat to emphasize how great her events and tours are, her entire tour combined is double the size of the other 5 most popular tours that year and the Super Bowl. Yes, she has literally built the best live event tribe-based following on the planet. And a little later, I'm going to show you the steps to reverse engineer it for your own business.
The pop megastar is performing for 3 nights at MetLife Stadium outside New York.
And check this out, 1/6 of the entire US population, yes, 15%, say they are Swifties, which means diehard loyal Taylor Swift fans. And this tribe that she continues to build is making her #1.
Rolling Stone called Midnight's an instant classic in their 5-star review.
Her last record that was released last year sold 1.6 million copies in the first week of launch. So to put that into a little context, it makes her the only female artist on the planet to sell over 1 million copies in the first week 5 times. She's even traveling back in time, bringing vinyl records back. Yes, she sold over 500,000 vinyl record versions of her new album in the first week. Why is she doing that? Well, one thing you may not know about the music industry is any time an album is sold via a stream, the artist will get less than 1 cent. However, when they sell a vinyl record for $20, $25, $30, they're getting a large portion of that in profit. Again, you see the business mind going on here, and one lesson you can learn from that is channel distribution, right? She understands channel distribution and how she can publish her content just like we publish content on social media, and how she can increase revenue streams by having multiple channels. She's even being creative, going back 20 years and selling on vinyls because she understands that's a hot market now. In fact, last year, vinyls outsold CDs for the first time in history. So now she's seeing, hey, this is a revenue stream that I can tap into, and with much higher profit margin. She has over about 35 billion streams across all of her music. That's an incredible amount of people and hours dedicated to Taylor Swift.
I was there for a good time, not a long time.
And next up, we're gonna look at how powerful her brand really is. Yes, Taylor Swift has built such a powerful brand because of the following and the influence that she commands, that she's having battles with the biggest billion-dollar companies on the planet. For example, there's a famous time when she boycotted Spotify and even went against the giants of Apple, where during the 3-month free trial that they were giving users, she argued with them about still paying royalties out to the artist.
There will be no explanation, there will just be reputation.
And because of the strength of her brand, they actually agreed and changed their entire policy for every artist, which probably resulted in them paying out tens of millions of dollars in royalties.
You have to forgive and forget to move past something. No, you don't.
And it doesn't stop there. She keeps changing the rules. In fact, she demanded that she could re-record all of her original songs and now own the master rights to the original version.
That means I own it, which is exciting.
You see, in the music world, most of the production firms own the master copy. However, she got so big and realized the business potential that she built into a new contract that she could own the master copies, which means she will continue to earn royalties from all of the amplification of her music across different channels, across different streams, across movies, and any other place that it is licensed.
Company of many stations in America called iHeart sworn to only play my new versions, and they've said that they'll switch it out.
And here's where the crazy business lesson comes in. Once she owned the rights to her original pieces, then she went away and started to monetize them. What she did is she re-released 2 new albums of remastered versions of her classics. But the difference, which is so genius, is that she now owns the rights. So she re-released those 2 albums and they blew up.
I get to do things that I know they wish I would have done the first time.
In the first week, they actually did more sales on the re-release than the entire history of the original release. And of course, she's earning that money. Just think about what she did there. She took old content and repurposed it now that she's way more famous, way more successful, and has a better monetization strategy. That's a very smart but easily applicable business strategy for every one of you. As you grow in fame, there might be old pieces of content, old products, old programs that your audience doesn't know about 2 years from today. You may not think to re-release it because you've already released it. It maybe didn't do as well in the past, but 2 years later, 5 years later, times have changed. Now you have a massive audience maybe. Maybe you now have a massive tribe, a stronger following, or simply more authority in your space, and you can take these old products and services and you can re-release them with much more success, just like Taylor Swift did.
I like to plant Easter eggs in a video, like a lyric from unreleased music.
So what's the secret of Taylor Swift? Let's get into it. It revolves around the word tribe. It's something I teach all my members and our customers, and it's something that will bulletproof your brand over time. Whether you're an e-commerce product, whether you're an artist, whether you're an actor, whether you're an expert, a coach, a software company, you want to grow a loyal tribe. In my space, there's amazing examples of all of those companies that have built loyal tribes. For example, a boring software, you may think, Rudy, how is it possible to build a tribe? Well, my friend Russell Brunson with ClickFunnels has done exactly that. Taylor Swift is one of the best examples on the planet of her growing a raving tribe. If you go and actually look at the interviews with fans,
There were some fans that thought I had something to do with Avengers Endgame.
they give you some really important nuggets: empowerment, motivation, inspiration. Just like presidential elections, if you look and reverse engineer the psychology of what it takes to build a raving fan base, a loyal tribe, which turns into loyal customers, which becomes over $1,300 for the average attendee of a tour, it's because people like Taylor Swift builds that community, the Swifties, and she impacts them at a psychological level and an emotional level.
I've already met so many people trading friendship bracelets.
Most people, when they sell, they fail to do this. What most people do when they try and sell is they try and just sell a product and a service. Right now, if you're watching this as an entrepreneur, you're trying to just sell a product and the benefits and the service it provides. However, the masters at this are able to impact them emotionally. And when they do that, those fans become raving buyers forever.
We're seeing just like women that are at the peak of their game that really own their narrative and control their marketing and their messaging.
And guys, just like she's building a raving fan base, I'm trying to do the same and show you how to get to the next level in your finances, in your business, and in your life. And if I'm providing any value, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button and comment below one thing you've learned so far today.
Everybody's like, thanks, girl.
The Taylor Swift takeover is not ending anytime soon. She announced 15 more tour days, and now she's announced that she's taking her tours global. This is her building on the momentum, building on the success, and building on the gold mines of those live in-person events, just like you should be doing too. And because she gets the power of a tribe and the power of creating an experience, she goes above and beyond at every single show. If you look at all the small details, they're perfectly created to improve the fans' experience and to reinforce the tribe. For example, one technique that I love that she does, every single member of the concert gets wristbands, and this acts like an invisible string, attaching every single fan to each other and making them feel part of the journey. And the more that you can create inclusivity around your fan base and make them all support each other, the stronger the tribe will become. That's why in our world, masterminds and live events are so popular, because people want to have a home. They want to have a team of people supporting them, especially in today's world. And if you look at the Taylor Swift fans or the Swifties, inclusiveness is a massive part of it, where they share similar core values around kindness, creativity, and building a strong female presence.
You guys! Stop making that surprise face. It's so annoying. Yeah, you can't possibly be that surprised all the time.
On top of building a tribe, one other thing that I've noticed her do well is storytelling. Building core values and a story and helping resonate with the audience with everything she does behind the brand.
What's with that bitch? Don't call me that. Y'all, oh, stop acting like you're all nice. You are so fake.
You see, most celebrities are over here, and they make clear that their fans are over here, i.e., hey, I'm the big celebrity and you're a fan. She does the opposite. She tries to include every single person into her story, and she's able to tell impactful stories into her messaging to get people to buy in emotionally.
There she goes, playing the victim again. What are you doing? Getting receipts?
If you look into her songs, they showcase her vulnerability, they showcase her failure, and they show the complex situation that most women and men go through throughout their life, in their love life, or feeling lost or not sure about the next stages of their life.
I would very much like to be excluded from this narrative.
All of these lyrics subconsciously build and help her resonate with her audience. It helps her audience say, wow, you're speaking exactly to me. That's exactly what I'm going through right now.
A man does something, it's strategic. A woman does the same thing, it's calculated. A man is allowed to react. A woman can only overreact.
And And that's such an important part of what you should be doing in your own messaging, in your own storytelling. The more connected your tribe and your audience can feel to you, the more powerful you'll be able to sell, because it will become less of a transactional sale and it will be based way more around emotion, which is a much powerful selling mechanism, as Taylor Swift has clearly demonstrated.
And what happened to that track that was 8 seconds of static?
It went #1.
And lastly, Taylor Swift has stayed consistent. She's been going for 17 years. She's about my age, sadly way more successful than me as of now, but she's been going for close to 2 decades.
Please bear in mind that I in no way feel qualified to tell you what to do.
She's released over 40 albums, she's blew out the charts, and she's became the most powerful and famous female artist on the planet.
This outlook perpetuates the idea that it's not cool to want it. That people who don't try are fundamentally more chic than people who do.
But it didn't come without her setbacks. It didn't come without her failures. It didn't come without her believing in herself when she was a teenager.
The people who want it the most are the people I now hire to work for my company.
So I want you to look and understand the success you see of Taylor Swift today is after 17 years of being the best, 17 years of showing up, 17 years of building a fan base. And remember, at one point in her life, her only fans were her parents. So if you're in that position right now, understand that it is a long game, but if you play the long game, maybe one day too, you can have sellout stadiums. Maybe one day too, you can have a tribe of fans that follow you around the globe, and maybe one day too you can have world domination. I know that's my goal, and I hope that some of the methods today that I broke down from the mastermind herself, Taylor Swift, building the Swifties, sellout tours, breaking the internet, and nearly causing an earthquake, has ignited a little fire in you to go and do the same. If you want to learn more about marketing, sales, influence, and making money from some of the best in the business, click the link, watch the next video. I'll see you guys very soon.